How to Train Your Dragon 2. What an excellent film. What an amazing film. And I am here to talk about not that movie, but its video game tie-in. Oh man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this one was rough. I mean real rough. I play a lot of movie games, I really do. For some reason I seek them out because for some reason I'm just really curious if it's good, if it's bad. I mean, sometimes you get a decent one. Like in recent years we had stuff like the Wolverine game, and hell, even the Brave video game was actually pretty decent. But now we have How to Train Your Dragon 2, the video game, which is, and I'm going to tell you straight up, this is why I'm doing this review. This is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. Oh my god, this is one of the biggest cash grabs I've ever seen. I am not kidding here. This game does not follow the story of the movie. It does not. It doesn't follow any story whatsoever. This game is a minigame compilation. I'm not kidding. It's a $40 minigame compilation. Now this would be fine if, say, this was a Mario Party game, but hey, if you can read, you know that it's not. It's a How to Train Your Dragon video game. It has dragon in the title. I don't want to play mini games. I want to be enthralled in an adventure where I get to ride my dragon and build a bond with him, or just relive the story of the movie. That would have been perfect too. Why couldn't they just do that? Do what every freaking movie-based game does. But no, they made them a bunch of crappy mini games that just repeat over and over and over again with some terrible AI. Awful graphics. Oh my god, the graphics are so bad in this game. The environments, the trees look terrible. The dragons and the human characters look okay, but you can barely see them because the graphics all around them are so freaking bad. And just the gameplay is awful. It's so awful. I hate this game. Okay, now let's actually talk about the game. The game is a minigame compilation, like I said. You start off as either Toothless and, of course, Hiccup, or as one of the other dragon riders. I can't remember their names, but there's a lot of characters in the movie, to be fair. But you get to play as him, and at first you're doing some training exercises. You're doing races where you actually have to fly through rings a la Superman 64, or you're picking up sheep and bringing them to a certain goal and trying to get as many points as you can, or you're shooting Vikings with your, your fire burst, I guess, as a dragon, and you're trying to destroy as many Vikings as you can without hurting the female Vikings. And there's some mini games like that, and I'm like, okay, it's training. Maybe it's just telling me there's going to be segments in the game that are like this when I'm doing the campaign. And then guess what happens? After the training, you do a tournament where it's pretty much 5 things that are exactly the same as you just did. Races and catching sheep, and sometimes you're racing and catching sheep at the same time. But it really never changes. I mean, sure, there's a couple of differences later on in the game that actually change some stuff up, just little bits, but not enough for me to go, hey, there's something new to do. No, it's the same thing over and over again. You catch sheep, you fly around in circles, and of course you fly in rings, so you're flying in circles while you're flying around in circles, and you have to shoot Vikings. It's pretty much the same thing. Sometimes you have to fly around and shoot Vikings at the same time. Woo-wee! Oh man, I hate this game. It really doesn't help that not only is the gameplay mind-numbingly boring, but the controls are so slippery and just hard to use. I was really trying to get used to this game's controls, but flying the dragon is so slippery and so hard to do, especially when you're trying to fly into rings, which, by the way, the rings are really important because when you fly through them, they give you a speed boost, and if you don't have that speed boost, you're not winning because the enemies AI in this game is so cheap. Sometimes they'll let you win, and then guess what? Out of nowhere, boom, you're losing again, and then you'll never catch up because you pretty much go the same speed as every other dragon, unless you get a power-up, which you use these power-ups to, of course, stop other players, kind of like Mario Kart. But besides that, it's really cheap, it's really hard, it's really, really boring, and it's also very frustrating, and the controls just make it even more frustrating. I just could not get behind the gameplay at all. When you're shooting Vikings in like this first-person mode where you're moving the target around, it feels like a cheap mini-game you'd play in a carnival video game or something like that. You know, one with many different mini-games or something. But at least that's kind of playable. Everything else I just could not stand. I hate this game. I really do. And that's really all I have to say. It's just mini games. You get to fly around the island a little bit, but not too far, or the game will say, hey, you can't go that far. You have to turn right back around. And it's not even like the island's interesting to look at. It's not. It looks awful. And before someone asks, yes, you can actually change your dragon human combo in this to other characters from the movie. But let me just tell you this. It doesn't matter. The dragons play all pretty much exactly the same. Some of them might be a little bit faster, and of course they look different. But for the most part, it's exactly the same. Also, a lot of the side characters you might love from the movie, you'll hate here because they always say the same thing over and over again. Like, no, or, haha, how's the backside of my dragon look? Or something like that. The sound design is awful. The graphics are awful. The gameplay is just unbearable. I hate this game. I really do. So that's all I have to say. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a big misfire, and it is just a cash grab. Oh boy. The positives. I really have none. I have no positives. I can't think of one. You cannot buy it. That's a positive. The negatives. Every single thing else, and I'm not kidding here. This game is truly awful. The graphics are just like PS2 bad. The gameplay is just embarrassing. No campaign, no story whatsoever. It's just mini games, and terrible ones at that. Terrible sound design, annoying voice acting, just pretty much everything in this game I hate. The only thing I might say is kind of a positive, and I can't put it as a positive really, is because they took just the music from the actual movie and put it in this game. I can't say it's a positive because some of the music doesn't even fit with what's going on. You're just flying around and there's a romantic song going on. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is this song playing? Doesn't even make sense. So I can't even say that's a positive. Really just everything. I'm just going to put it right on this video. It says everything because everything else is just awful in this game. So there you go. There's my review. I know it wasn't the best out there. I just had to let some anger out. I really did. This game is awful and no one should play it. None out there. It's truly mesmerizingly awful. There you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.